Welcome back, everybody, to WWTA News. Thank you for returning for another episode. Yeah, so of course, we're going to review some news articles. We're going to see what's going on out in the world, and we're going to move on from that. So let's jump right in again, WWTA News. Let's jump right into a tweet that I saw that I thought was very interesting. So, Miss El Salvador tweets US dollar, not. Huh? El Salvador prefers Bitcoin. So, El Salvador made some major moves. They weren't scared. Preference to Bitcoin? I don't know. You know how I feel about Ethereum and Bitcoin. It just doesn't make sense to me until they can show, how fast and efficient it is. I don't know. But nonetheless, apparently El Salvador loves their Bitcoin. All right, we got an article from Reuters that says United States debt limit default could hit early June to early August. Early June to early. Are they going to default? This is the talk of the town. Are they going to default? Are they not? Are they going to do another debt ceiling increase? And let's just go ahead and deal with this. When you increase that debt ceiling, all you're saying is we owe more. And that's a scary conversation because at some point in time, you got to pay what's due. Writing it off, I don't see how that's just possible. It's consuming without paying. Eh, this is a whole headache. I don't know what's going to become of that. You guys let me know. I don't know. You let me know. Anyways, next article. Ripple executive says Coinbase may migrate to crypto banking services. Really? Interesting. According to Burla, his opinion is hinged on the fact Coinbase's 2023 first quarter report reveals a larger portion of the exchange's earnings came from deposits in the form of interest payments, custodial fees, and blockchain awards. Markedly, these sources of income were categorized as subscription based and service based, obviously. Additionally, he added that Coinbase, well, let me back up. So, yes, if you use Coinbase's other feature, which was like for pretty much traders, you pay a subscription fee for that in a sense. And it was a monthly fee, and it allowed you to do different things. They still advertise it. And then, of course, for converting and buying, of course, there's service fee there. So if you bring in money from your bank into Coinbase to purchase whatever their service, there's a service fee there, transaction fee. And converting back out, there's a transaction fee. So yeah, that's what they're talking about. But let's continue. Additionally, he added that Coinbase's revenue is gradually shifting away from consumers and toward high margin institutional clients. Now that's the news. If there was any news in this article, that right there is the news. Let's read that one more time. Additionally, he added that Coinbase's revenue is gradually shifting away from consumers. That's people like me and you, regular Joes that are just getting retail cryptos, right? So that's all that's saying. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. All right. But when it says uh, toward high margin institutional clients, that's what we want to hear. Because when institutions come in, they're going to be buying large amounts to do transactions because that's pretty much all they're going to do with this stuff is use it to do transactions. It's going to work for them. So it makes sense. It also goes on to say, according to the details provided, institutional trading revenue grew 67% from the previous quarter. Furthermore, Burla highlighted that interest on USDC deposits is generating $199 million alone, or about 18% of all Coinbase revenue. Let's get that one more time. Burla highlighted that interest on USDC deposits, that's those people that have their United States dollar coin, generating interest, obviously generating interest, they're generating $199 million alone to that institution. Isn't it though? It's a good choice of words. They're an institution, right? They're becoming something major and big. All right, Shiba Inu news. I don't even like talking about this, but Let's talk about it. Shiba Inu, SHIB price hits 6-month low. Data signals high buying activity. After nearly 4 weeks of nonstop falling, the price of Shiba Inu token reached what is known as a FTX low. We are talking about the price zone around 0.0000082 per SHIB, where the altcoin price was last at after FTX, one of the largest crypto exchanges, announced its insolvency in November of last year. I mean, look, it's supposed to have a use case, and it would be for people to purchase things with. They called it meme coin, just like Dogecoin, and so we've kind of passed that crazy time of retailers hyping, pumping, and dumping. So for as far as utility or use, it doesn't have a strong enough use against stuff, other assets, right? So I don't know how that's going to pan out. To me, it doesn't look like it has that much of a strong use. It looks like the retail market is what controls the value of that, and I can't see the institutions and big banks really using it. So to me, I feel like I don't know if it would grow anymore other than the retail side. Now, if the retail market, once they finally get on board, they might start controlling that growth of that thing again. It just seems to me like I don't know. But it goes on to say, during these 6 months, the price of SHIB managed to show a rise of 94% and then crashed to its absolute current lows again. This downturn has left many investors wondering whether the token is still a worthwhile investment. And so they're using the term investment because you're investing, hoping that's what it sounds like, is going to grow in value from people finding, I guess, value in. I don't know. Yeah, right. We're looking for utility here. Moving along from AP, how will we know if the U.S. economy is in a recession? That's a good question. Washington, AP, the government's report Thursday that the economy grew at a 1.1% annual rate last quarter. And this signaled that one of the most anticipated recessions in recent U.S. history has yet to arrive. Oh, wow. Really? Many economists, though, still expect a recession to hit as soon as the current April or June quarter or soon after. I mean, there's a whole discussion here. I would you all go to US debt clock, DEBT clock.org, and pull that debt clock up and look at it and see where the actual debt is for the United States. And you've got federal debt and you've got personal debt. And just so we all understand this, I'll make it clear one more time. If you think you're separate from the federal government, you'd be crazy to think that, because you're not. As a United States citizen, you are a part of the United States. You belong to them. You are an employee. So as an employee to the United States, because you conduct business through the United States with the permission of the United States, because none of us are sovereign, we are responsible, right? So we are responsible for that debt. So the federal debt and personal debt. So you look at personal debt, of course you're responsible for your personal debt, but you have to add the personal debt with the federal debt to get the total debt of the United States, because as we all are actors within the United States as citizens conducting businesses and taking out loans, long-winded, we are all responsible for that debt. So yeah, it's like 31 trillion. Woo! And we don't want to talk about unfunded interest, right? Like, oh goodness gracious. All right. So, wow. Yeah, April and June is what they're suspecting, or shortly after. It goes on to say the list of obstacles the economy faces keeps growing. The Federal Reserve has raised its benchmark interest rate 9 times in the past year to the highest level in 17 years, thereby elevating the cost of borrowing for consumers and businesses. Yes, that's literally what it's done. It's increased the interest rates. It's costing more to take out a loan. When you go to try to buy a house that used to cost 150,000, it's now around 289, 300, 320, 330. Wow, right? Wow, like I don't even know how that works, but wow, you know what I'm saying? And now the banks, they're like, okay, well, I can't really give you that loan based on how much you make. So it's like, yeah. And if I do give you that loan, I'm going to have to increase your interest so I can get a lot of that money up front. Hopefully, the majority of that money up front in the first 5 years is what I like to get. So I know that I've got my part for that house, that loan I gave you for that house. I made at least either half or all of it within the first 5 years. So your interest got to be pretty high, I would assume. I'm just assuming here, but that'd be a good way to conduct business to get your money now, wouldn't it? Then you got to look at loans from a grand scheme as the whole picture, and then you got to ask yourself, does that make sense? Is that a way? Because we always say increase interest rates so we can pay the debt, right? Increase taxes so we can pay the debt, right? Tax the rich more so we can pay the debt, right? You got to think about all that. When you start digging into that, it can expound and touch many different places. You know what I'm saying? But it goes on to say inflation has easily slowed but steadily in response, yet price increases are still persistently high. Yes, prices are going up because people want to get that extra money to pay on interest to debts. And let's simplify this, right? Let's say I go out and buy a car, and that car, it cost me $10,000. I got a loan on it, and I'm paying, I don't know, 100 some, let's say $100 a month on that loan, right? And I got it set to go 5 6 years. Let's just say that's what happened. And so as my other bills are growing, right, my mortgage adjustable rates and change. I got to pay more on that. The cost of food has gone up. The cost of fuel has gone up. With all these prices going up, it's like, okay, well, things are getting harder for me to financially take care of. So it's like, all right, so now my little side hustles or whatever that I was doing, or let's say I'm just working a job, now I need a raise from my job. So I'm going at my job like, look, I need a raise. I need y'all to pay me more because I can't keep up with all these debts, you know what I'm saying? So wouldn't you feel that way if you were running a business? Wouldn't you want to start charging more so you can, because your debt didn't change. It's as far as being there. It's still there. And now it might be costing you a little more because interest rates increase. You know what I'm saying? And if you're in anything adjustable, well, adjustable, right? And not to mention fuel and everything, and fuel, food, and everything else. So as a business, you're probably going to increase your cost, the prices that you're charging your customers. That's just how it is. So you got to ask yourself, if you were in those shoes, would you do the same thing? Doesn't make it right, it just makes it logical to what we're seeing. That's all I'm saying. It looks like that's what we're seeing. Oh wow, look, this was hey man, did you get through it that fast? I did we discuss enough? I hope we did. We're looking at a situation where the United States economy is not looking good, right? It's not looking good at all. They're talking about April, June, or shortly after, we're going to have an issue with the debt ceiling. Somebody's got to increase it. Like, y'all going to have to do something, or default. And does it matter if we default? Let's think about that. Let's all bring our minds together and home. You all humming with me? Home. Think about it. Sounds to me like we just in a stupid situation and ain't no way to fix it. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't appear to be a way to fix the situation because we have extended ourselves through loans, which is debt. Everything that we pretty much own, and don't say cash, because we know that cash, the United States recognizes as legal tender, but that is not legal tender to the rest of the world, right? It's evolving now, but legal tender has always been known as gold and silver, especially in the law books. If you go look in the law books of the United States, gold and silver is actual legal tender coinage. So when we talk about them who print the money here, making the money that they print legal tender, it's like you're bound to destroy yourself in that system, right? Because you're no longer using the gold and silver as the structured legal tender that it's always been. So now you look at other countries that look in on the United States and say, oh, that's just a debt country. They ain't got nothing to back that up. They're trying to back this up by selling us the debt of the citizens and the citizens and the corporations and businesses of the United States. And let's just think about that. When your mortgage gets picked up by some foreign country and some foreign person is calling to collect on your mortgage or whatever, you get new documents from a new company saying that, hey, you're paying us your mortgage. How did that happen? Ask the question, please. Ask it. Put your hand up and ask the question. How did that happen? That's right. Legally, your bank could sell any contract that you made with them, and you signed that in the contract that you made with them, that they have the right to sell that contract at any time. And when they sell that contract, it becomes a new contract, which is now belonging to someone else. It's a debt contract that another country picks up. And now they're hoping to get that money, that money with interest that original bank had. They're hoping to get it now because the United States citizens are making such good money. They're living fat and high on the hog. They buy big expensive cars and they buy big expensive houses, right? They go to work and they work relentlessly to live the American dream, quote unquote, right? Is that how it happens? So then the other countries pick up these bonds, right? These secured bonds, these secured contracts, these debt contracts, and they're hoping for the payout. Well, not really hoping because they know the United States is so full of it. But now they're like, ooh, the United States is not in a good spot. I don't know if I really want to be holding these debt bonds. This might be something I want to start selling. I want to see if somebody will buy this. Can I sell this back to the United States? This ain't a good look, right? They're looking at it saying, ooh, the United States is going through a lot of turmoil. I might want to start relinquishing these bonds. I might want to get out of them. To check this out. If nobody wants to buy these bonds, well, then you got a whole lot of checks that you ain't able to repay back. You just sent the checks out and let people cash in, but your cash in is for a reserve, a reserve bond, right? A reserve note, a bond, a IOU. I'll pay that back. Okay, that's all it's for. So it's like, oh wow, nobody wants to redeem these. What? Those Federal Reserve notes don't want to be redeemed? So something new has to come into play. And does that mean that, possibly these debts will get wiped? I'm not sure. I would doubt it. It would make no sense because, now in the United States, right? It's the United States. You can do whatever you want. I mean, Donald Trump told everybody this, and I hate to go back and pull out some of the things Donald Trump said, but let's not act like the guy's stupid. He's not stupid. He was pretty much upfront snitch. Like he told everything. Like he told everything. I don't know, just listen to some of the stuff he said. He told you that the United States, it's our money. We print our own money. We can just make more money. Okay, so in the United States, your debts don't mean nothing in the United States. It means something when another country's holding it. Okay, if another country's holding your debt, then they don't want your funny money. They don't want your monopoly money that you printed up. They want gold and silver or something of value. Okay, they might want a cryptocurrency such as XRP that they know has a value. And I'm not pointing fingers at XRP. Let me bring up another quote because I know how some of y'all people get. Oh yes, no. Let's say Polygon. Let's say hey man, we'll accept Polygon because of the value that it has, and we know we can exchange that on the market anywhere and get the currency we want. You know what I'm saying? So anything else other than the United States dollar is what they'll say. I don't want the United States dollar. That's monopoly money. We know that you guys have overly printed that money, so it'll have value here in the United States. You can use it in the United States, but you really can't use it anywhere else. Ain't no other country gonna want it. We know that because that's why the BRICS nations exist. That's why they're doing business in other currencies. Not that a new currency, there does not need to be a new superior currency, and there probably won't be a new superior currency. Okay? If there is an open market, such as a crypto market, I want you all to think about this for a second. I'm not selling you anything. I just want to think about this logically. If there's an open market, such as a crypto market, where cryptos have values, right? Go look at a crypto exchange. They have values. Go to Coinbase and just look at the currencies inside Coinbase, right? So if something, I don't know if a lot of you have done this. If you're watching this and you don't know what I'm talking about, follow me on this one. Do some quick research. Go to Coinbase Exchange, okay? Just type it in on your phone, Coinbase Exchange, create an account and go in there and look around. And when you look around, you can see all these currencies, right? Now, all these currencies are on the exchange, which means that you can take your United States currency, right? US dollar, you'll bring it through there from your bank to that exchange, and you'll turn it into something else. Let's say you turn it into CELO, right? CELO. And you turn it into CELO, and CELO, once it's on the exchange, it has a value. So you buy $100 worth of CELO on the exchange, it'll go up and down. That's just how it works. It's an exchange, just like your money goes up and down. United States dollar goes up and down. Look at the Mexican peso. It goes up and down. Okay. And all currencies go up and down in value. You just don't want them to go too crazy up and down in value. So we're on the exchange, Coinbase exchange, and you're noticing, oh, wow, these currencies do go up and down in value. Yeah, that's how that works. So if I, for instance, buy $100 worth of something like CELO, CELO, and then, for instance, another country says, oh, we'll accept a CELO because it's on our exchange too. We'll accept that for payment. Then if I make a payment to that country for some particular item, I don't know what it is, they'll accept it, put it through their exchange, okay? They'll accept the payment to their wallet. Your transaction will happen. From their wallet, they'll send it off to an exchange, a local exchange. It'll go to the local exchange, and then they'll turn it into their local native token or currency or CBDC. It's coming. It makes sense. I know you people are scared of it, but logically, from a business point of view, makes perfect sense. They'll convert it to a central bank digital currency. You know what I'm saying? Something that they can regulate and control within their own country, or they'll turn it. And I'm talking about a country doing this. A business would do different things. They'll use other currencies, right? But let's just say, for the sake of argument, $100 goes to another country, and it goes to them as CELO, CELO, something you pick up on Coinbase. Then they take it and they put it right back on Coinbase or Binance and swap it out into another token or currency or one that they accept. Now, did it matter that you use CELO? All it matters, it didn't even matter you use USD because you converted that United States dollar into something else that they held value in and that they trusted and they accepted it. Okay. You can accept it yourself and then put it back on the exchange after it comes to your wallet and convert it into something that you want. Oh man, if y'all ever see the real beauty of what's happening here in this financial market, I know everybody's pumping the boogeyman story on you all, and they trying to scare you. Oh, cryptos are their enemy, and da 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 da. Yeah, it's gonna make a fair market, and y'all can't even see it. You want to talk about a level playing field? I don't need nobody or their mama getting in my business at this point in time. I can go deal with my stuff straight up to the exchange, from a wallet to an exchange. Me and you personally can talk a business transaction. Okay, let's say you want, hey man, let's say you come cut my grass and you charge me $50, and I say, well, look, how do you want your $50? Do you want your $50 in dead United States dollars, or do you want it in a cryptocurrency of your choice? And you're like, hey man, you got crypto? Yeah, man. Which one you want? Hey man, pay me $50 of, I don't know, XLM, right? You know, I don't know. I'm just throwing one out there. Or, you know, it's pay me $50 worth of XLM. Okay, all right. And then boom, you send it to their wallet. 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Boom. They got $50 for that transaction. They happy. Because at that exact moment, when they shake your hand and say thank you for the work, they can send it right back to an exchange for less than a penny of charge, okay? Or hold it, or they can send it right at that moment to the exchange and then swap it out for whatever currency they want. If they want USDC, they can swap it to USDC. If they want to turn in the United States dollars and send it to their bank account, they can do that too. All right, it simplifies everything. And if you're worried about the charge of doing that, because through an exchange there's a charge, then you would charge an extra $5-6 just to do the crypto, because you know you're going to turn it back into United States dollars, and it's usually anywhere from $1 to $5 to do an immediate transaction, or you can have the normal waiting period of the bank and have a free transaction. That, I know you guys, if you don't use Coinbase, you don't know what I'm talking about. It sounds crazy, but I'm just letting you all understand. Do not be afraid. Fear not for what's coming. It was predestined and ordained. And it's what's happening. It's what's happening. Other than that, that's the news for today. I'll catch y'all in the next episode.